Goedemorgen, welkom, dag 2, de masterclasses, verzorgd door dit Koninklijk Concertgebouworkest en chef-dirigent Daniele Gatti. Welkom. Voor ons even die huisregel herhalen, alsjeblieft geen foto's maken, geen video's, dat doen wij voor u, want we streamen dit live op Facebook. En daarom is ook de voertaal van deze masterclass in het Engels en schakel ik nu over op die taal om onze tienduizenden gasten, want dat was het gisteren, welkom te heten. Welcome at the Concertgebouw in Amsterdam. For all of you following us on this live stream via Facebook, thank you so much for joining us. It's great to have you. Richard Strauss and Gustav Mahler came to Amsterdam and found in this Concertgebouw orchestra the ideal instrument for their music. Strauss and Mahler are part of the DNA of this orchestra. But bear in mind, they all came to the city. Ravel, Debussy, Schoenberg, and Igor Stravinsky. Stravinsky was here in the 20s and 30s on a regular basis, and in February 26, he conducted himself, for the very first time, Le Sacre du Printemps, the Rite of Spring. He made his conducting debut in that ballet in this very building. 2 performances that day, February 26, to an ecstatic crowd. Switch it off, please. And now 2 young conductors will work on the score as well. Roderick Cox, in just a moment, from the United States, and now Nuno Coelho from Portugal. Their mentor, their coach, is Daniele Gatti. A warm welcome to them. Precies andersom. Het is precies andersom.
I think there should be something in the... Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Something interesting would be this one. Okay, well, you choose.
Yes, can we please start in the first part, figure 49, please?
Try this.
Sure, but it's coming later.
Ah, yeah.
Okay.
No, you're right. Yeah? You're right. Okay.
49, please. you very much.
Bravissimo.
Thank you.
Bravo, bravo, bravo.
I'd like to do this passage one more time.
May I suggest to
Yes.
a couple of things? Beginning of
Yep.
this. Arrive
yeah.
until bar 4.
Just do it one more time.
Four bars. But, about this, eh?
Okay. 49, please. It's not clear.
No, no, no. What kind of sound do you have in mind? Don't explain. What kind of sound do you have in mind? Think.
Yep.
Bravo. I ask you to emphasize a little bit more this.
Okay.
Double bass and celli. The first note. You play the cello in the double bass. You. Imagine here. Now you play the violin second and the viola. You have a big instrument here. Yes. Yes, and now together. Now together.
Yep.
Maybe it's too much. Drier. Drier. Then look at me.
Yep.
They don't need para. They need pump. Why? Because if, for instance, you want one bar, the bar 3, you want a less precise rhythmical impact. They need precise impact. If we arrive, for instance,
This version?
your version, just I show two versions.
Yeah.
One a bit drier,
Yes.
one a bit more appassionata.
Yeah.
When parararirara, it's important that
Bum. Bar 3?
No, beginning.
49.
Try to hold one like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bam. Now the host has not crescendo in the next bar, just the flute. There, now. So you without speak, I noted you, but everybody play crescendo.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 50. It's good, huh? Yes. 50. Just mezzo forte plus crescendo. In your mind is mezzo forte, piano subito crescendo, diminuendo, or mezzo forte, crescendo from mezzo forte?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Third of 50, please.
No, it must arrive. 50.
Okay.
Piano crescendo. You beat piano crescendo. There are other three things that you can, in a piece like that, you can. Like a policeman.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know a lot of fine. No, but you see, in a piece like this, you can control and arrive, make a sort of concertazione, no? Without talk.
Yeah.
How to have this, reduce the horns. I noted that the third note of the syncope of the clarinet was in diminuendo when it was with you. They play pa, pa. So I'm third, louder, immediately.
Yep.
And the horns, even they play a little bit crescendo, they understand, it's not crescendo. The crescendo is just for the flute. Next time, it's guaranteed they play piano. Otherwise, stop. Coronino crescendo.
Yep.
Let's do, as an example, because it's easy, a thing like this inside it. You see how many colors there?
Yes.
You can play the orchestra immediately without talk. Let's do 51.
51, please.
Sorry, no, because the indication I pass maybe are not very elegant, but effective.
Yeah.
And when I return to repeat that, at least 70% is remain. Then I can say, ben portato in the piano, a little bit solemn in the distance, and the flute, when comes with the crescendo and diminuendo, has to cover the sound of the horns. But not to remind them that there is no crescendo, there is crescendo, and to explain metaphysical things.
51, please.
Last crescendo here, mezzo forte here. Don't remind the same because they know how to play. Accent here, remind the accent. Grazie, just a kind of, you conduct splendidly this. but just a matter of attitude. Since the beginning, you conduct with energy, with passion, no? At the beginning. Or you start 49, no? 49. Like this. Now we arrived at 53. 53. But what I suggest you is not to kill yourself in the podium to show 53. Yeah. It's the opposite. Yeah. So can we play together from before 53? No, let's say 52. Yeah. 52. Okay. We did this 4 times now, and then like the same thing. I can emphasize again if you want. That they expect. Everybody expected that you doubling your gesture. You start and the orchestra is showing muscles and musicality, and you listen, and you're just suffering with them. Suffering, but not struggling everything together. So it's an anticlimax that the conductor could create. And then you know that after 3 and some bars, there is this fantastic shrine. And that you can also play in rallentando, or because at that moment nobody is expecting that you make a signal so strong. You are good, eh? Bravo. Bravissimo. Here is fine for my, now just this. Can we pass at 56? We talked yesterday afternoon about how to resolve. Yeah. There are, you can beat 5, 7, 6, but I like this when we talk about to think in half. Let's see.
56, the third bar, or?
Yeah.
Third or 56?
No, 56.
Ah,
okay. Yes. Okay. If you do 56 tutti, half orchestra, start.
Yeah.
56. Just the stick is enough. Yep. Just the stick is enough. Just the player that keep going to play 56. The player that has marked piano, so you avoid that all the other play from one chord. Minimize. 25, 56. Clear, not clear. Or you make, play, sorry. listen. Don't drive. Listen. Don't drive. You want to change something now? Try it. Be convinced that. Now you are driving. You know. Otherwise, you just paint something. But they play without watch us. If you are stiff, then in the moment that you ask something, the answer is comes immediately. They were not, I'm sorry, inspired. Some other place is nice here. Bum, 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 bum. Ritual of the rival trips.
57, please.
Very good, we don't need to subdivide this. Because you pass into here, and, okay, conduct from, please, 58. Stay in the normal tempo. You see now that you didn't subdivide the horns, was absolutely much more together and convinced that da 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 1, 2, pa 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 pa. So the relation is perfect. But you arrive at the end of the rite of spring that you need 1 week of holidays. So give energy, but also preserve energy. 58, no? Fine. No problem. If you play the crescendo with one, and then wait for the crescendo. And then here is just 1, 2, 3, 4. Not to use all this. You get tired. And it's the one timpani and the precise signal.
And let's play.
A little bit dry. A little bit dry. But it's really good.
Same place?
Yeah, just to feel. Yes.
Same place, please.
Very good. This is just an example like this. You did very well here. My suggestion is when you arrive at the last bar, super clear, the last 3 beats. 70.
$70. 70.
Beat musically, because you are beating 3/8.
Yeah.
Or say in 3/8 or 3/4. I mean, sorry, not 3/8, 3/4. So it's the second bar. Third, if you want to mark the bar, okay? And now we get the fact that we don't need to mark that. Huh? Last 3 is we arrive at the end of the road. But you mark 3 and 3, then you mark every 6. I didn't mark
anything.
So I erased the bar line, and we were in the chaos, no? Until a moment that the chaos has to finish. So, and there is a warning attitude to say, is the last 3 beat of the bar, and to finish together. Okay? Not enormous, but in proportion of what you have done before. Okay. I would like to do now something technique is fine, but I think we have work on the beginning of this.
This is the introduction.
Don't waste too much time to read it, but just a few bars, and then I would see how you work with the color.
Okay. This is the introduction of the second part. Figure 79, please.
enough. There is a lot to work for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 bars.
Yes. The very beginning, can I have just one more time? I think we have to find a good balance of flutes and clarinets. Can I hear one more time? 79?
You ask who?
Yeah, so now flutes and clarinets played. I wanted to hear the balance.
Flutes?
And clarinets.
Where the horns playing?
That wasn't clear on who to play. Yeah. Only flutes and clarinets from 79. In tutti?
You know?
Before I heard too much clarinets and less flutes.
You know polytonality?
Yes.
Okay. I would suggest you instead to start to the base of that, so the D minor accord,
Is there,
who's played by?
the horns
And?
and the oboe.
So, now we fix the base of this minor accord with the D minor chord. Horns
And oboes.
and oboes. Should be, nobody's expecting that here's a D minor accord here. So, the lower notes of the horn should be for me a little bit louder.
Yeah.
The fourth.
Yep.
Ok? E più piano possibile. Fine. So this is the carpet. Now we ask flutes, clarinet, and the piccolo clarinet to play the first accord. Just the first note. Softer, softer. Thank you. With the same dynamic, this plus the chords. And when you are floating on the two notes, don't change the sonority. So now they hit the level of the pianissimo. The second notes they have to play is their responsibility to play on the same level. But when they play, they have to listen the D minor chords. So we create the polytonality. C sharp minor versus
D minor.
yeah. Okay.
Just the first note?
No. See, yes, just the first note, so they fix the level. Tutti. Now we move. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Now we start. My mistake. Go. Okay. Maybe you were able to obtain the same sonority, the same transparency in another way, to say flute, and then is another way to work. Huh? Play together and then put together. But we start from another point of view. The point of view that D minor accord is very important because it gives the level of the sonority. If you are able to listen the D minor in this polytonality bar, and then the other chords that moves and just get dirty, I think you obtain transparencies. And everyone knows exactly what they're playing. I'm playing notes of the fundamental D minor chords. I play alternance of two other chords, but related to that D minor, not just piano between flute and clarinet.
Yeah.
Without then trumpet. I already heard that they were not together. They resolved together, the trumpet were not together with us, and the bass clarinet. So, bass clarinet, trumpets, and violins. Celli and contrabass. I finished.
Bar 2.
also divide.
For the Luftpause, for the woodwinds?
Which one?
No loop, but for the small respiration.
We'll see later.
Okay.
Explain later. Yeah, I'm sorry, my boss says finish and then finish must be. But
okay,
we keep going.
Okay, thank you.
Bravo. I think.
Thank you very much.
Would you like to keep going with this and then?
I'd like to start with getting in some of the dance, maybe the glorification, starting before that.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's good. Good morning, everyone. Let's start, please, one before rehearsal 102.
Ah,
Is that okay?
sure.
Okay. One before 102. Once again.
No.
Well,
Oh, okay. You make a little bit of confusion because it's at 12, it's at 9/8 bars.
yeah.
And then 6/8 bars.
I'd like to do those in the proper 9/8 with, but let's go back and fix the molto allargando before 117, please.
Yeah, but then it's a repetition.
Yes.
Nothing
that
changed.
wasn't together. Okay.
Oh yeah, they were not together, of course, but I think we have to, technically, to talk about something here, and then we see that place.
Okay.
And then you have to explain to me why you choose a beating style that you choose. But it's not a j'accuse. I'm curious. Boom, 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 boom. 11.
Okay. I can try the other beating. Okay. All right. This is before 104. One bar before.
11.
was a bit better in the 9/8 bar. I thought it was clearer, but perhaps.
We see the 9/8 bars. Let's resolve the first 3 bars.
Okay.
How
I'd
you
like
beat
to
the
ask.
how you beat the first bar? In?
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So, boom.
So, okay, now we open a world of this bar.
Okay.
The 5 bars you beat. Unti, boom, tirira.
Yes.
Unti, boom, tirira. 2 plus 3.
Yep.
What is written? Tarada.
That's written on the 2, I guess, the fourth, 8th.
So after 1, 2, boom, tikitim.
Yep.
Right. Second bar 2.
Same thing.
Take bar 106, 1 bar before.
1 before 106?
Yes.
Okay.
No, no, no. Look. How is written this bar?
What's a 3/8 bar with the
And the timpani is in which position?
the timpani is on the third.
Third.
The third. Yes.
The previous bar is there. So you resolve the first bar unta, boom, tiriri, exactly with your gesture in the timpani, and tararam, tararam, after, it's a little bit mathematical, after the second part of the bar, no? 2 and 3. Unta, boom, tiriri, unta, boom, tiriri, right? Also the bar in 7, you are doing the same thing. You are doing tumta, tumpa, tararam. In the next bar, we have the same music, but is unta, pum, tararam.
Yes.
So for me, it's absolutely a mistake to say that the first and the second bar is 2 plus 3. It's 3 plus 2. Un, due, pum, tiriri, un, due, pum, tirila, un pa, un pa, un pa, un pa, po, un, due, pum, tirila, un pa, un ta, pum, tirila, un ta, pum, tirila.
Let's try that then.
No.
I think
No.
that makes sense, yes.
No. When we are conducting, we must understand why we beat 5, 3 plus, or 2 plus. And this was absolutely clear that the timpani is not an arrival point of the bar, but is a suspended note in the largest part of the bar. And tararam is the articulation of the second part of the bar. Doesn't matter if it's written in 5 or is written in 3 and then this bar. Stravinsky needs to write it, but the music goes in this way. Okay, next problem. You beat 9/8. It's fine. Do you think that it's also possible to beat in 4?
Yes, and I've done it like that before. And this time I just really like this sort of juxtaposition against the music, the rhythm against the beat. It being unexpected feels like 9/8, and you have another sort of rhythmic element
He has written
inside.
in 9/8, but it's not written musically in 9/8.
Yes, it could
For
function.
this reason, I beat in 4 and not in 9, because the graphy is in is another thing. It's not. No. 1, 2, 3, bum. So 2, 2, 2, 3. And for the same reason, the bar
Same thing, it could be
is in 3.
Yeah.
Because it's written in 3. It didn't say 3, 4. It marked 6, 8. But I'm convinced that it's not. For
Yes.
me, it remains a dance not with ternary matter, but with 2. I don't know if it's a binary, no? It's just in 2. And sometimes we have to enlarge this, but is a dance in 2 steps or in 4 steps.
Yeah. So not so, okay.
Not a sort of valser tempo inside.
Well, shall I try 104 with that idea in mind?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
104, please.
One, three, one check, boom. Tiralam. 1, 2, 3, 2. 2, 3.
Yes. Same thing.
Yes.
It does feel more secure and musically. It feels like it makes.
I think you are speaking you are close to speak probably the right language of this dance.
Yes.
And when you are using this bar, can we play together, please? From the beginning. You can also help, because in your beating, this is lost.
Yep.
Please. You see? On check, bam, bam. And then I can emphasize bam, bam. And I have a control in this. It's a bit more difficult. Possible, but more difficult. You want to also to make a little bit more more clear. You just reduce it.
Yeah.
Be quick. 1, 2, 1. But very, very. Okay.
104.
But don't use all the arm.
Yes.
You can conduct with the wrist.
Not too much.
Don't use the arm.
Okay.
And you can that with Seven, please. 7. Bar in 7/4. Sorry.
1 before 107.
Sorry. So the second on 106. Signal before, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Next bar in 3, 7. Next bar in 1. Once more again, from the same place, 106.
104. Oh,
No, 106.
sorry. Second bar of 106.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, non, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's delicate for the winds player. They have to count different bars and then to be sure. Pop, pop, pop. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. The fact that you conduct 5 and then moving the baton to the left and then to return to the center, and then the other bar, the 6 bar baton, and immediately go to right, it gives to the orchestra a clear signal that you are in the 6 bar and in the 5 bars. Otherwise, you move twice on the left, and they say, oh, come on, is it bar in 5 or bar in 6? Mm-hmm. Because you move to this. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. This is 114. 114.
We know each other, but usually when I arrive here, can we play? Warning. Next.
This is 3 before 115. 3 before 115.
You want to do things. 116, 116.
I guess I feel the 8ths get. I don't. I feel.
Did you see what's happened?
Yes.
What's
I see.
happened?
Well, you gave a bit more space for the.
They were together.
Yes.
Feeling. Do what you think is good. Physically talk with the orchestra for that ritenuto. They follow you if it's clear here. Go.
116. 116.
Stressful, eh?
Just a little.
Now, I think that we have, I like the energy, I like that, but it's a difficult dance for the conductor, but it's also very difficult for the players, rhythmically. Now, we have to enjoy together to play a piece like this. It's
Yes.
not, otherwise at the end, it's like to have made an hour of gym, which is good because easy life for them, very easy life for us, but a concrete musical results. It's not because you are conducting like this or making like this, they play louder or more convincing. No. Out from the mind, this. Out from the mind. They play better if they see someone which is in control and pass the joy to do this. When you are warning them, I warn them to say, next, but without panic and I say, you. Okay?
Yes.
Go advance with the head. Huh? You are already in the next 3-4 bars while they play that moment. Okay. Now, when I say whist, okay, whist. 11-4. The 11, 104, one bar before. Okay? Okay. I think maybe it's discreet conducting, but I stop. I'm not conduct this rhythmical music like to conduct a lyrical line with a lot of rhythm inside. It's just pure barbaric rhythm. Stop, and wait the orchestra play the portion of the 3 or the portion of the 2. Not don't push the tempo ahead. Don't get tired.
Mm-hmm. Shall I give that a try?
See. But, I mean, it's a change of attitude.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
The 11-4 bar.
No, now it's much better. Okay. It's stiffer. Returning to this kind of work.
Introduction, 79.
Now it's another kind of work, eh?
Yes.
Totally different to... I want to start from the point that we finished before. You are perfectly in tune with the atmosphere of the orchestra in bar 1. In bar 2, you become romantic, or not romantic, appassionato in your way to conduct.
Okay.
Because you want to, or you want just a beam of light in this desert.
Yeah.
So you have to conduct as a beam of light. Bar 1. are like actors. The orchestra understands the character which we want to give, how we show physically. Then we work like we did before the chords, the balance between this, the no vibrato. But when you are presenting a piece like this, which is probably possible also to change the attitude. I conducting, I'm acting like an actor, and they play immediately according to my desire. Usually when you are in front of you, when we are in front of the first reading, we are doing things like this. You know, yes. What are conducting? Not you, eh? What are conducting? So, all right. Start from a new place. Here, 84, and pass to the orchestra immediately from the first instance an idea of what you have in mind. Okay, Roderick, okay? And you will see how nice it could be.
84. Sorry. Let's try that again. Let's just keep that in 3. Once again, 84, please. Can I have a little bit more of the lower and inner voices of the violas? Oh, 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3. 3.
better. You are a bit more communicative, I mean, no? And looking for something different in that, changing the atmosphere. We can get more from that.
Yes.
Because, to my opinion, when you start from here to here, your idea of the piece is still, is quite lyrical. And you conduct with lyrism in your baton. The lyrism that is coming is the legato, no? But also when there are moments that are contrasting. Ta ta ta, tum tum, ta ta ta, ta ta ta, tum tum tum. Completely freezing. Ti ti ti, ti ti ti, ta ta ta. There is an idea of. It is like to say that you have a couple of movements and not a palette of different way to explain. Think like this. Or it's rhythm, and you conduct like that. Or you pass here to the horns at 89. Too many information. Can we play the horns? 89. Conduct this passage. 89 for the horns. You conduct clearly, but you conduct in syllabando. Look, you conduct like this. You see how many little, too many information, small information. They play. You try to. This way is to treat like a student orchestra. There is no mutual exchange. Try and feel it. Otherwise, when you need information, to information, because I need to change. If you don't want to pass information, easy. Conductists are coming. You are my nightmare today. 86.
86.
2 minutes and I think. 86, just 4 bars.
86.
Much better. Coffee time, thank you.
Ja. Oké, Neem lekker een kop koffie, een kop thee en zet ondertussen even Facebook aan. Dan krijgt u leuke gesprekken te zien met Roderick en met Nuno tot over 25 minuten. Because now exclusively on Facebook meetings, encounters with Roderick and Nuno. Roderick?
Okay.
Sure, it's okay. It's okay. Stay here and you want to talk? Okay, sure. Here on the camera, there. Okay. You want to discuss something?
It's fine, but I think it was very, very important to see how we can obtain, in this kind of music, get drier attitude. Yeah. You see. Because also, the first time that you are conductor right to spring, Dominic.
Hi, Dominic. Hi.
The fact that you conduct for the first time this masterpiece, and I know that you are there, manage 100 people with the most difficult technical passage. Of course, the heart beating, but nevertheless, it's a good place to test how cool we have to begin. And then the precision of the information is made because the clear vision of the piece should be there. I mean, also, a piece like this permits to conduct it and to pass the most important information at the first instance, no? At the beginning of the second part, even with you, because it's not just to conduct and to repeat what we study at home. We must be effective. And in a fast piece and a louder piece, sometimes then we have to work using our mouth. But when we use just the arms and especially the eyes, we create a fantastic contact with the players. And then we already, I think, from 0 to 10, we already can get 7.5, unless that the orchestra understand your poetical vision for the piece. Ah, I see. In the first 4 bars is like this. Okay, it's very static. Nothing is moving. It's a sort of fog in that. So the sounds, it becomes now color and not. If I move like this, I pass the information that there is, I want to use the word lyrism, because from here to there, there is an excursus. So a tension and then a relaxing. This music maybe doesn't require that. And so we have, as I said, as an actor, I can play a gangster or I can play a poor man. And conducting this is also show a feeling. So for this reason, I encourage you to be clear in this, not just in the technique, in the spirit of the music that you conduct.
I think that's very interesting, Maestro, because most people see a performance, the end result, but what we're seeing here is the rehearsal technique and how important that is to get to the concert, which is what everybody sees. So this is absolutely fascinating. I'm going to take these 2 fine young gentlemen away.
I leave it in your hands.
Okay.
Don't destroy that.
No, I'll try not to.
Okay. My score is right on the floor there. Can I grab that?
You can grab the score, or we'll get somebody to grab it for you. You come with us. Don't worry. We've got people here in the Concertgebouw to do that for us. Watch your step here. We don't want to kill you already. Wow. We'll take it easy on you. You must be exhausted. As Maestro Gatti said, that's an awful lot of notes to deal with for one rehearsal. There's an awful lot of information that's being thrown your way. We fully understand, but I have to say, I think you're doing absolutely brilliant.
Well, yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. Now, Facebook friends. Questions. I've got a little laptop here, a little, iPad here, which hopefully your wonderful questions will pop up on this screen. Now, this does require for me to multitask, so bear with me if I don't get through your questions, but I can see that there are lots of you live right now. Please put your questions in for Nuno and Roderick, and hopefully they will be more intelligent than the questions I'm going to, or we're going to ask them. I'll speak for myself. So keep them clean. But there's a lot of love for you, as you can see right here, and from all around the world. we're getting lots of love for the both of you.
Isn't that wonderful?
And it's really fantastic.
Yeah.
And I can tell you from the orchestra also. So
Wow.
there you are. Now we're going to let you just catch your breath for a second. Nuno, we have to deal with the fact that you already know Amsterdam very well, right? I mean, you work here, so this is almost a home game for you.
It feels like coming home in a way, yes.
How long have you been working here?
I was working for 2 years with the NetFo.
The Netherlands Philharmonic.
Yes, the Netherlands Philharmonic. So yeah, 2 years, from 2015 till last
So
year.
you know this hall. You've conducted here, haven't you?
Yes, yes.
So-
So this feels a little bit less scary.
Yeah.
It's
once
less scary.
It's a bit less scary, but of course then it's a different orchestra, and then you know that maestro is there, the orchestra is there, they know the piece. Do we have audience watching us? So,
What's scary about the hall? What is scary about this particular hall?
well, it has a history. So,
Well,
no, but I think this is important. There is a history. There is an orchestra that is always plays here. It has the name of the building on the name of the orchestra, so they are part of it. And you are, although you've been here in the hall and I've attended concerts and conducted, but it's a different feeling when you are conducting the Concertgebouw Orchestra in Concertgebouw.
yeah. What's it like? What did it sound like? What kind of apparatus you have in front of you?
Lots. You have just 100 eyes looking at what you're doing in a different way than normal rehearsal, because now it's really about what are you doing with the hands and how to correct it. I mean, in a rehearsal, you usually blame on the orchestra for what you're not showing. And in this case,
Right,
it's really
the focus is the other way around than what you're used to. Right, yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Now we have a question already. I'm going to jump in here.
Sure.
It's a really simple question, but it's a really good one. I wish I could pronounce your surname, and nor do I have my glasses on, but it says, hello, how do I become an orchestral conductor? So, what on earth made you first think, I know what, I'm quite a short guy, I'm going to get up on a podium and try and conduct 120 musicians.
Yeah, it was the podium. I wanted the
It's the
podium.
podium.
It's the podium.
It's just the podium.
Yeah.
Seriously, what on earth made you think that was a good idea?
No, so I was playing violin. That's my background. I started playing the violin.
Right.
I studied, and then I was playing in orchestras. And from playing, I guess I was found interesting and just curious about what is it actually the conductor doing? What's the process behind it? And then I started taking some classes and realized
Now,
that
this is classes at what age? So is it?
I was 21.
Okay, so you'd already
22.
been fully going through youth orchestra and
Yeah, I
the
played
violin.
youth orchestras. I
Right,
was
okay.
doing my bachelor's and master's in violin,
Right.
and then playing. I was like, okay, this could be interesting. And then I
Okay.
started.
And do you still play?
Yes, but for me, not.
Okay.
not
Not in public. And Roderick, there's no doubt that when I look out at the very white middle class profession that I'm in, it's easy for me to see my inspirations. It's easy to see the people that I want to aspire to be. But of course, for you, that's a very different view. What were your inspirations? Who were the people that you were looking up to? Because it's quite an extraordinary journey that you've made. Do you also play an instrument, by the way?
Yes, I was a horn player.
So
French
not
horn.
really. Right, okay.
Oh, double bass. So never mind.
Well, I think the music itself was obviously my greatest inspiration, and I think it has to be for all of us, because
Did
we
you
have
grow
to
up
figure.
with it in the house, or where is classical music in your life? From a very early age, or did you come to it later?
Well, my family were musicians, not necessarily classical musicians, but there was always a lot of music around me. And I was in elementary, middle school, high school band, and I felt like for me, music just continued to evolve throughout my life. It was not a moment when I was very young where I thought I wanted to be a conductor. It's just something that fascinated me more and more. And when I was at university, I took an orchestral conducting class, and my teacher at the time said to me that I should be conducting orchestras. I didn't, really take it very seriously at first.
Sounds like that you could have chosen wine tasting or something, like
I mean,
extra class.
I was
The
conducting.
two go together, by the way.
Oh, is that right?
we do like that, yes. I mean, I was in music and I was studying to probably teach and be a professor or something of the sort. But I became a little bit more intrigued and decided to take on this crazy path. But yeah, you're right. There are not many African American or people of color leading great orchestras in the world. Obviously, that's something I aspire to do, and hopefully can be an inspiration for younger people to come along. But I think the music is a very universal language that we all sort of enjoy and gravitate towards, and I think there are elements in this piece and even the Brahms and so forth that we can all relate to.
Yeah, I mean,
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. Now, luckily, you've bought a baton. I'm sure you see I'm trying to multitask here. I'm going to ignore that for a second. You've bought your baton, which is very interesting, multicolored, feels good. Tell me about how you pick your baton. Oh, you've got both of the batons are here. Okay, then we can see the differences.
This is yours.
Just can we just zoom in on the differences? Could you do me a favor and just hold those?
Okay.
So we've got different. This is yours, right?
Yes.
And we've got different ends here,
Handles.
bits that you hold, and a different. Here we go again. A different length. Dare I say it? Do not.
It's just 2 inches.
Shorter.
The difference is just 2 inches.
Well,
This one definitely needs a podium. How do you come to pick? You can take yours now before I drop it. And break it
there it
exactly
goes.
as I did it. How do you come to pick your baton, and what's is there a rule of thumb with regards? Help
well,
me.
I think like this end is whatever feels comfortable. So there are several ends. There's like just a round. There's this shape. It's whatever feels comfortable in the hand, I guess, how you prefer to hold the baton. And then, of course, length. Yeah, I mean, if I would do this, I would probably look way too big in proportion.
You're right.
So
This is it. Huh?
like
It's a matter of balance, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, some people conduct with batons that aren't balanced. I prefer a balanced baton. I have quite larger hands, so I like to have a handle that that's a little. It's custom made, so it's a handle.
Custom made baton.
Yeah, it's custom made.
Are you jealous?
I am a little bit. I am a
I'm
little
sure.
bit.
Is yours custom
Where
made?
do you?
No.
It's
Okay.
not. No. Yeah, yours is from Amazon. Where do you get your custom made?
From Custom Batons in Minnesota, actually. His name is Chris Blount, and what's wonderful is he lives about 15 minutes away from me, and I can drive there to the shop, and we can test out things. And
So
You are guest conductor now. You are the guest conductor of the Minnesota.
I'm associate conductor. of
Associate,
Minnesota.
yes, that's right.
Yes,
Alongside
exactly.
Osmovenska.
Yes.
Well,
exactly.
congratulations. That's
Thank
a great
you.
place to be.
So it's really important that everybody understands that these two fine young gentlemen are professional working musicians, professional working conductors. You earn your living doing this. You're not students anymore. Yeah, absolutely not. So the bravery involved in turning up and taking a masterclass when most other people would say, I've sort of made it and just leave me be, I'll be fine, is extraordinary, it has to be said, and we're very grateful that you do it. I've had a hilarious question. I want to be a conductor. I want to conduct the Concertgebouw Orchestra. How do I go ahead and do that? Well, basically, you have to study your whole life, and then eventually you get to be here. Okay, so now on to the more personal questions. Sport. Are you into sport? What do you do to protect yourself if you are into sport? So you're no stranger to a gym. Tell me this is not just natural.
I work out,
Okay.
I suppose, yes.
And is there, with regard, I am a stranger to the gym, so I can't answer this question. Do you have to be careful to look after yourself, not to strain yourself? There's a lot of conductor injuries.
Yes.
And are you exercising to avoid that, or just because you look incredibly handsome?
Well,
Yeah, I'm just saying what everybody's thinking.
I think.
You too, by the way.
Well, I have a chiropractor, obviously, that works on my body to make sure there are not things that are happening. I have to be conscious in the gym about lifting. I try not to lift too much. I think too much muscle will obviously
Is it that heavy, then?
not be very
Yeah,
good.
it's very heavy. Yeah.
Won't be very good for on the podium, and you know, sort of decrease flexibility. And I have to make sure I stretch, you know, after the gym or even after a performance or before a performance to just prevent any sort of
Do you do the same thing?
risk.
Gym, no.
Right.
I sometimes run just to relax, but
Okay.
no routine about it.
But there's always arms up and hands up and shoulders down, and it's always in this area, isn't it? So it can be painful. You have to watch out. It looks relaxed, but then again it can be excruciating what happens with your body.
Yeah, in my case, I had years of violin, so this was already sort of natural for me.
Right.
But
Okay,
sure,
to hold
it
up,
is-
to hold
it
up.
is-
Okay,
it
right,
is.
yeah.
And of course, when you try to get a sound, there's a lot of, you can have a lot of tension, which is also what
Yeah.
Maestro is talking about, that you can.
And I think
preserve.
it's the difference, isn't it, that I don't know whether many people at home have seen the score of Rite of Spring, but could you just open that up at any page to the camera, so anyone, so they can see, because we couldn't see, there you go, anything. There you go, open that
a
up.
lot of information. Is incredible.
It's an unbelievable amount of information on each bar. So there's an incredible amount of studying. Just give us some idea as to how many hours you're spending studying just this one piece. And remember, Stravinsky wrote 100 pieces. On this one, just
It's difficult to say, also because it's not the first time that I've studied the
Yeah.
piece.
but
So
put them all together.
Them
Just
all
take a
together.
guess.
All together would probably be like
it's
a month or so. I mean,
It is
like
solid.
24 hours,
Yeah.
24 hours. 24
And that's
It's a long
basically you
process,
sitting
It's a
down
very
with
long
the
time.
score on a table and just sort of air conducting, which I am genius at in the shower, by the way.
No,
Well,
it's not. No, it's not about the gesture. It's about trying to figure out how the piece was written,
Okay.
and finding what was the process that the composer went through, from zero to the piece, and then we try to do the reverse.
Yeah.
So,
But then there was, you know, like he was working with me on beating patterns for some of these passages. I think with this piece, it offers that sort of complexity because you have to figure out how to, you know, beat certain bars that you're taught. You know, a 9/8 bar is usually in 3 or so, but in this piece, we decided to do it in 4, 2,
Right.
2, 2, and then 3.
That's what the music
So-
tells you, not what the score tells you. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
what-
yeah, exactly.
Incredible.
I mean, or how it is written and making those sort of conscious decisions on how to, you know, execute those
And once
specific
again, he said,
passages.
do less, but be precise and be imaginative. He told you, to be like an actor.
Yeah.
Isn't that incredible? Never thought about that, that you play a role there. You give information and as precise as possible, but you are an actor as well, trying to tell this story, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
You are indeed, but it's very real acting. It's your reality, I know that. Gentlemen, it's been a real pleasure speaking with you. I wish we had lots more time because there's so many more questions I'd like to ask. Thank you for all the questions on Facebook. I'm sorry I couldn't get to all of them. Congratulations. You've got this
Thank you very
afternoon,
much.
you're working again this afternoon with Daniele whilst we're not on camera, and then all through the day, and you're back on Thursday. I think you'll be here
Yes.
as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. I'm going to steal this because this is perfectly my way. There you go. That's for you. You can study
Thank
that.
you.
That's yours.
Take the
Thank
heavy.
you very much,
Thank you very
gentlemen.
much.
Really
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Take the
Thank
heavy,
you.
baby. That's
Thank
yours.
you.
Okay.
So we have to get
Right.
back to doing our day jobs. Wasn't that fascinating? It's
Change of
extraordinary.
pace now.
Yeah.
From Stravinsky to Brahms.
Stravinsky
don't
to Brahms. Back to Brahms again. The great thing about Brahms is that there's an awful lot of information in very little notes. And unlike Stravinsky, which is just packed with information, the score, as you could see, was amazingly busy. And there's an amazing amount of notes within the score. He was a genius at writing, and every note, it seems, has got a marking over it. So the job of a conductor. Have you ever conducted?
No, just under the shower, yeah.
Under the shower?
I'm great, I'm
and
genius.
how are you? Yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, which symphony is your favorite shower?
Probably the first by Mozart. I don't
Really?
know.
The first symphony of Mozart. A very
1, 2,
famous
3,
one.
1, 2, 3. I don't know. I don't even know it.
It has
Yeah.
to be said that a lot of people, I think if there's one thing that's really obvious, a lot of people can do this
Yeah.
alone.
Isn't it a way of dancing? Dancing with your hands, going along with the music.
I think he hit the nail on the head. It is a lot of acting involved because you have to portray this character
Yeah.
And the technique is one thing, and the character is the other thing.
Yeah.
And studying the score is yet another thing. And what's fascinating for us as musicians, especially working with Maestro Gatti, is that we see the way his mind works a lot better. We understand him better. After these 3 days, we will understand him better. Because what you have to understand, folks at home, is that Gatti is sometimes uses the score in rehearsal and performance, even though he never looks at it. He's got everything up
Isn't
here.
it incredible?
It is the most unbelievable, incredible brain that he has.
Yeah.
So this is actually quite easy for him because he literally knows every rehearsal mark, everything. He'll
does.
pretend that he doesn't know where it is, but he does. That's the genius of the man. So them trying to go up against him is really fantastic.
Do you have ambitions to become a conductor?
I do conduct, but I will never conduct this. This is too difficult. I like light music, and I like much more sort of character music and pop music and that kind of stuff. And so I will absolutely conduct, but never
A lot of your colleagues have the ambitions to conduct. A lot of your colleagues have conducted.
A lot of my
become
colleagues
conductors.
conduct, and they become conductors, and it's and it's the next step, I guess. So,
Yeah.
but in the meantime, I'm going to go back and play my
For
bass.
Johannes Brahms, variations.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much,
See you
Dominique.
later.
See you in a bit. All right, now it's time for a change of pace from the Sacre du Printemps, the Rite of Spring by Igor Stravinsky. It's a smaller sized orchestra, as you can see. The beloved Haydn variations by Johannes Brahms. In just a moment, with two ladies conducting again. First of all, Ruth Reinhardt from Germany, and then after her, Tianli Liu from New Zealand. Well, we'll wait until the orchestra has started to tune, and then it's time to play again. All right, welcome back. Any anecdotes about Johannes Brahms? Well, the story is he did not come to the Concertgebouw. He was here in 1884 with the Meiningen Hofkapelle to present his own Fourth Symphony, and they were so enthused, the citizens of Amsterdam, they decided we want such an orchestra, and we build a Concertgebouw around it. So that is history. The man did not visit this hall, but he gave it in impetus to build the hall. Thank you, Johannes Brahms, after all. Well, the two ladies are coming down now, Ruth Reinhardt and Tianli Liu, to conduct the beloved Haydn variations by Johannes Brahms. First of all, Ruth, and after her, Tianli. Welcome them, and Maestro Daniele Gatti.
Good morning. Let's please start with variation 4. thank you. Shall I?
See.
Okay. Can we just have the violas in the beginning ones? I would love to have it a little bit more in the stringy, bit more cantabile song. And yes?
No, I said.
Bit more in the string without being louder. And can you try to have more
Terrified.
shape under the long line? I'll try to be clear. Let's have even more shape, more phrasing. So I would love for you to more flowing at the big line. I think we should play it more like it was, not as loud as the main theme, but with the same shape and everything. Thank you. Yeah. Let's even make less of an emphasis on the downbeat, down bar, down bow that is in bar 2, please. Can we have one last time? Thank you.
The principal viola asking, Maestro, is getting slower and slower. Is the tempo that you want?
No, I forgot the tempo. I mean, I forgot
Rewind,
about the tempo.
rewind. She didn't answer like this. Okay, rewind. Principal viola said, Maestro, is that the tempo that you want because it's slower and slower? Think before to answer.
No, I wanted the tempo that we first did it.
I observe one thing. You propose, and I was quite interested, the tempo of this andante, which was really molto commoto. You conducted in one. I talk musically. The orchestra was surprised. And probably you know that your tempo is a little bit out of that so-called tradition tempo. Instead to go to the viola and to say phrasing, and slow down the tempo, because, be honest, probably it was a little bit too fast.
Yeah, probably. Now that it just doesn't sing enough.
Let's say, I respect your musical idea. Ladies and gentlemen, my vision about this variation is to create a lot of ansia, you know? Yesterday we talked about the ostinato. Also in this variation there is a sort of ostinato. It's true, my friends, that the theme is here, but there is something, the blood in the veins. So for this reason, I think that the tempo that I would like to propose for all of you is like this. Let's try again. Let's try again. And I start to conduct quasi appassionato because connected with your tempo, probably what do you have in mind. But the orchestra, because it's playing now on a different vision of this, has to be convinced. If you want to work, don't forget the project you have in mind, and you gave to them. This is my project. This is my project. So I do not abandon the project. Yesterday afternoon we talked about this. You now arrive with a new tempo, and so work because they has to come close to the damned project you have here. And when you are listening that they are very close, it's a goal. But no, a little bit, the first note, is not the message that it comes to the audience. The message that comes to the audience is the drama of the variation that you want to pass, is the tragedy of the variation, is the utmost ansia that you want to pass with this tempo. And now I'm just a little bit, try to play in B flat major, please. B flat major.
Okay. Everyone?
Everyone, from the beginning. Go. I think I have nothing to add, no?
Okay, yes, yes.
It will be using to explain a feeling or a musical idea and using a mood, minor or major, it's very important. Not because the minor mode has to be performed slower or faster, because inside the minor mode or the major mode is touching some nerve that we have and is creating a mood. It's like to see a color. And probably there is a natural tempo in the minor mode.
Yeah.
So now, try to think what kind of tempo it could be, a sort of compromission between your idea and what a minor mode explain in music like this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Now you work as you did before, but to be too much pedantic.
Yeah.
With the viola for
Yeah.
a passage that was beautiful from the beginning. If you want to change something, it should be really concrete.
Yeah. Okay. Can I actually just go on, play this again and go into the second half? Or not?
The orchestra doesn't need.
Okay.
They understand. If it's
Okay.
for you.
Yeah, no, can I then go to
No,
the second?
before we did a lot of D'Artagnan example. Now it's a moment of work, and you have in mind, in your hands, an instrument, and you have to discover the 1,000 opportunities that you have with these instruments. It's not just conducting. It's already done. I wanted that you work on the orchestration, on the musical idea, and to pass a really concrete musical information. And I want to listen to the difference.
Yes. Can we please start at E, like Emil? And the sforzati that we have, can we have them with more weight, so a little longer stay in the sforzati before we release?
Ruth, sorry. Just to give you a hint, how to organize that. Return at the beginning, because you're wasting time for the viola. Now return to the first 9 bars.
Okay.
Results immediately in your mind. What you have in your mind, combined with the result. What do you like to change? Tell us. Tell us.
I would like to...
The difference, sorry Ruth, between the play that I offer to you and what you have in mind. What do you like of them, they offer to you, and what do you want to change? Not bar 5 like this, but in general. in general. Play again.
In general?
Play
Okay.
again if you want. For this reason I say learn to listen.
Okay, yes.
Okay? Play.
I would like it to be a little more melancholic, more
Yes?
not slower, but with a feeling of slowness.
This
in
is the
tempo.
way. Bravissima. Now explain clearly, better. Explain once more again.
Okay.
More or less, and then
Okay, so with a feeling of heaviness in every bar, like yadim badim, and as well here really strong.
okay, you pass a precise indication that the orchestra needs in this moment. And now, conduct, they know, they reminded this word, melancholic, melancholic, with the viola that could sustain a note after note, this. Two indication that enlighten the mind of my players. Let's try. Now is the responsibility of them to translate in music what you hit.
Yeah.
And show, Okay, much better. For my opinion, if I would be in you, I need more melancholy in the melody. You are attracted to conduct the secondary line. The audience cannot have the feeling of this. So, if I, in your dress, again, and I want to, this, I said melancholic, you said melancholic, no? Depressed, in a way, no? Okay? Maybe I reduce a little bit the tempo to have this, because no, maybe I reduce a little bit the tempo to put in to give them time. Then I repeat them once more again with a little bit faster tempo, but softer, much softer here, and dry pizzicati, because it's quasi the blow, so the hit of a destiny, a black destiny in front of you. Tum, 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 tum. So, in piano here, much more. And I hope, as a performer, that this, which is enough for me, it will be enough for the audience. Because it's a message that we want to pass to them.
Yeah.
Okay? Go on with another example. But you are on the very, very right path for work.
Okay.
Right.
Shall I go here or shall I?
Si.
Okay. Let's go to E, please, Emil.
Listen, and listen.
Again, can we have a little bit more heaviness or hesitantness, even in the long line? Ya, da, dee, dee, no crescendo. Let's keep it a little more separate. In the strings, can we stay even more under the woodwinds and horn and particularly the G flat and that. The last thing, can we have after the sforzandi, the piano?
Two indications are enough. Check the 8 bars about this indication.
Great.
Don't conduct it again. Cool.
Okay.
Also last year I said, you gave interesting information. You pass the responsibility to them. Your responsibility before to show how you want, it's finished. You pass the responsibility to them after your kind request. No, do it, because it's not what I have in mind. But anyway, okay. Stay here.
Okay.
So, now you listen. Maybe just a remindation. You know, is enough, you go on. It's not enough, you say a little bit more, you said without weight, no?
I think with weight.
With? But you said piano. Pianissimo.
Yeah, I just didn't want to make a crescendo here. No. I think it still has to be depressed here.
To open.
No, not to open.
Sorry, I was completely confused.
Sorry.
So say again, because it's important.
Still with heaviness and no crescendo. Don't open up.
But you said piano. Intense.
Yeah.
With intensity.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Like this? Okay, that's right. Okay. Now it's okay for you, this?
Yeah, it's very depressed now, I think.
Because I have to pay the tax in 1 month.
Yes, but basically, yes.
But now you are talking about the micro mega.
Let's go
You are
on.
a bit depressed. Same problem. Okay, go on.
Go on. E, one more time, please.
Benissimo. Ruth. Okay. Yes. Very good. I have to say two things to pass to you. You know why is for you not really clear that you are maybe not so satisfied, because the problem is not the oboe and the horns. The problem are the string. And we are a bit damaged in what we are here from the presence of the string. Not because they play with the body of sound, but because we have to listen then harmonically, this passage. Let's play just the string.
From E, please.
Yeah. Dominant. Exactly. Listen again. 3 dominant bar, 1 tonic bar. Again, listen. The double bass play the B flat louder than the than F. It should be the opposite. Dominant, resolution. So this is swollen the sonority here, and is covering the line of them. So let's play again the strings. And when we resolve, ask to the orchestra, dominant, B flat. Not dominant, B flat. Basta? Now, if you play with them, they have also space.
Yeah.
Let's try.
One more time, E, please, everyone.
Piano here. Don't exaggerate with the gesture. And here is the second thing that I would like to do. This forzato is not written after a descending scale and then all of a sudden sforzato. It's prepared by a crescendo.
Yes.
With your gesture, which is beautiful here, a little bit too rich here, you are squeezing the sound.
Okay.
You hear the sound and you squeeze the sound. It's not the sound that the orchestra is producing with in this context. I suggest this, 9 of E. Is already in this lower beat I give. I stop to beat in 3, and I try to beat the quantity of the crescendo. And I can do also in tempo, but I abandon to beat at the series of 6 quaver. I beat the dynamic.
Okay.
Crescendo. Pull that, and then don't call the sforzato. When they see they go down, they play splash.
Okay, yes.
Same place with you.
Yeah, same place, please.
Let them play. And this is our sound.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to, working with this musician, you have also the responsibility to privilege their sound.
Yeah.
The orchestra are different. Another orchestra has a characteristic, other orchestra has other personality. You are in front of an orchestra which has this personality, and when you let them free to be proud of this, okay, I'm not sad, I mean.
Okay, yeah. Shall I take it
Yeah,
again
yeah,
and
yeah.
go on, or the next one?
Next one.
Okay, next variation, please. Sorry.
Easy. Easy.
Okay, let's say it one more time, please.
Before.
Because of ensemble things, and I could say them now, but I think I would be more sure about what exactly is going on when I hear it one more time.
Let's say it once more again. I would like to listen a couple of things with your kindness. Thank you. 2 words, but establish a very sympathetic and cooperative relationship.
Thank you. Can we get it a little shorter, particularly in the strings, particularly 4 before G?
Is the first problem that you catch?
No.
Which is the first problem you catch?
There's ensemble problems between...
Okay, ensemble problem.
Yes.
So we work now, before the staccato, on the ensemble problem, because it's written very difficult for them.
Yes.
And especially there is a bar when they play tara, 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 they have tara, tara, tara. So there is a double, it's a very close canone, and it's very difficult to obtain it.
Yeah.
So you said that the precise word, ensemble, means technical problem, not expression problem.
Yeah.
Resolve first the technical problem with them.
Okay. Let's please take it from G directly. G, like Gustav. It's better. Can I just have once just the strings, please?
Yes.
Sorry, that's 1, 2.
How can you get solid that? How can you get solid for the ensemble?
Maybe I should be more solid?
Yes, first this for sure. Because all this attacca are creating problems.
Okay, yeah.
So, strings. Like a student at the first step of conducting.
Okay.
Then you can ask, quasi add 3 small accent in the 2 notes and 2 notes slurred. Tira, tira, tira. But very clear rhythmically. And you can ask subitissimo sforzato when it's coming. Like Stravinsky before. Again, subito sforzato. Now it's really solid. Let them to rest. Winds player.
G, please, Gustav.
Okay, you have to uniform with the winds player what you have done with the string.
Yeah. Can we have the same clip, the pia, tia, tia? Clip and an accent, basically.
Yes. Really clear accent and separation. Tira, tira, tira.
Yeah.
Plus the sforzato, deciso like the colleagues did it.
Yes.
They can do much more sforzato.
Yes.
Yes, but your is always like yesterday, musical. No, metronome. One, two, one, no, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. No, put together.
Okay. G, please.
Yes, that's fine. Now the 2 pieces put together starts, the puzzle starts work. Now you are too much schematic. conduct the two things, the sforzato, and the third thing is the articulation crescendo. Now. Okay?
Okay. Okay. One more time, please.
No. Forte. Forte. Basta. Very good. Grazie. In the organization of the method, you hit and resolve the most difficult part. You work on that part. Now put together from the beginning. From the beginning.
Okay.
And now you can add something more. You want more crispy?
Yes.
Okay. Much more staccato for everybody. It's a divertissement.
Yes.
Okay? You use your wrist and not your heart.
Okay.
Just wrist.
Okay.
Not this. When you are, sorry, I don't want to, but not forte because you use this part of the body, because you are more nervous. And you can also do with this, with the eyes.
Okay.
It's the attitude that you are taking in front of your, before a variation like this. But if the attitude is a normal attitude, then you get crazy how to, no, from the beginning. Rather than to, no, from the beginning. Sometimes I stop. I move when it says forte. I don't stop. I move. I wait. It's like a mechanical, crazy way to act.
Yeah. Okay. One more time, please.
Sorry, my friends.
Am I still too much?
No. You are doing very good. You are doing. Look, together. You do. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Possible also to do. Again, sorry. They play. You stop the two. All together. Without a bit. So without 1 and 2. Okay?
Okay.
Don't beat. But tap,
Yeah.
and they play. Because they play in the moment that they boom.
Yeah.
Play.
Okay.
Relax. Go. Yes, Ruth. It's fine. But I want to see your expression, the joy of that.
Yes.
You are like a banker conducted, having a problem with his bank.
Okay.
Transmits joy.
Okay.
Yes. Enjoy. Bravo. Avanti. Much movement, less movement. Also that, but less. Very clear the end. 1. Now. 1. Boom.
Okay.
Work a bit in the central part. Sorry, just because you are concentrated on that, but I want to. There is a mistake in the articulation. Strings, central part. Can you play from I, just the strings?
Okay.
What have you noted? Is what they play exactly what is written by Brahms?
In the articulation?
No.
Bia-pa-pam.
No, yara-pa-pam. The problem is here. Play again.
Oh, I see. Sorry, I was noticing something. They play yap-pa-pi-pa-pa-pam.
See? And there is no difference because we are playing sempre staccato. I think it's with the idea of più portato. Otherwise, Brahms has to write tutto staccato. So, ask to the orchestra to respect the original indication of Brahms until the end. For the violins means tarara, and then no ta 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 ta, no cadenza. Tarara from the tip. And for the cello and the viola, tara ta 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 ba ba ba. And diminuendo a bow. 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 5 6. Separato, clear, but not staccato. Is a staccato of Flügelbogen. No? Let's try.
Okay. I, please.
And it's absolutely believable that in a piece which is always staccato, there is a moment of that as a composition idea. So, in the cloud.
Yeah.
Let's do better because for them it's absolutely totally new. Let's do again.
Yes. I, one more time.
And now let's play this from I, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 bars before I, and then play I. You see how different is this?
Yes.
Exactly. The problem is the horns that play forte, they are not respecting the great diminuendo in the piano at I, and then the crescendo. So the crescendo of the horns was much, much louder than the crescendo of the string, because the string has a very virtuosistic passage to do. You have to say horns subito, forte, immediate piano, and then crescendo maximum mezzo forte. But you see that the Brahms, the indication of Brahms changed the perspective of this piece.
Yeah.
And we are not respecting exactly what the composer had in mind, because we just study the score and to say, we listen hundreds of records, ta 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 ta. Instead, the truth is here. Then you can say a little bit more staccato, a little bit, but the spirit of this part is just to breathe a little bit from the sparkling, dazzling character of that. So, and then again. Last time, please, last time. Control the horns. Same place before I. And then we finished.
Yeah.
You see? Deciso now. Bam! Very good. Huh? Thank you. Thank you. Brava.
Thank you very much.
Bravissima. Brava.
Or maybe, I think this is very interesting.
Yes,
Fine.
but
would you like
we
to
have
do
time to do both.
Good. Thank you. So we continue, please.
It's too high.
Yes.
Okay, more.
That's good. Thank you. Variation 6.
Okay, okay.
For the boy?
No, yeah, it was. It's mine. Fix it. Okay.
I have a question about the forte and sforzato in the second half. To make a sound that is not harsh, perhaps it is in my body, but something that is a bit more with roundness.
I have a question about the tempo you propose.
Yes.
Which is more urgent than the sound.
Mm-hmm. Vivace.
Mm.
For me, yesterday I thought about it, and I was thinking maybe the quaver in the previous variation is like the semiquaver in the next one. This one. So I was a bit under, maybe. May we try it again?
No. Work with the brain, and you have a very smart brain. If the first vivace of the variation is 6 note, and we arrive from an increasing speediness in the variation, no?
Mm-hmm.
Bom, bom, da, ri, 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 ro, 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 ri. And increase, and then it's calmo, but the
con moto.
Ma con moto means that in the first variation we have 2 notes for the bar, very important, bum, bum, bum. In the second variation we have da 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 da. Now, we add 1 note in that, and then we have 4 notes. Ti da 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 di da re ri ro 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 di di di. Then a moment of calm. Ti ro ro, like to say, go. I'm stopped a little bit in variation, and then all of a sudden, the 6th note become 8. And we have a natural accelerando through the 6th variation with the moment of meditation, which is the B flat minor variation. Now I sang very quick, but and the next variation confirm the spirit that in the middle of the piece we are in the maximum speed possible. Because we have 8 notes, not 6. And it's not you can also have the same metronome. Of course, the personality of the passage as is written, as is our tempo.
Yes.
And you cannot exaggerate, because it's contra natura. But you should be fine. But for me, my opinion, the travel that you are bringing the audience with you has already a stop in the meditation variation number 4. And why to return? Yes. There is the next variation that is a grazioso.
Yes.
So let's try. But this is a musical solution, a dramatic solution of the entire piece. What?
I wonder whether we should do the end of and connect it.
See, okay. From letter I of the previous variation with Tiani, letter I, and then connection of the two variations. Yeah, good idea.
Letter I.
Be careful, eh? Not to play through if the tempo is right or is slightly too fast. For my opinion, it's a bit too fast.
Yes.
So the relation of the metronome relation, it could be good if letter I is but then we must, the relation is it's a relation. It's not a mathematical relation. This is a mistake that we are making. The relation is not is in this ambit. So it's more or less the relation. Because the piece is not written, I mean, there are two different variations. We are talking this afternoon about the relation inside the same composition. No? So, and if you note that it's too quick because there is no character in the
accent.
Is a marcia, is a schall, but with joy, but we must find the right tempo for the writing. Beginning of variation 6. Let's conduct. Yes, that's fine. That's good. No, that's good. Please. My relation. The relation is that I used the quaver becomes semiquaver.
Yes, I agree.
So 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 okay? Go.
Grazioso? No.
No, che grazie. No, ma there is.
Yes.
A lot to say here. Do you like that? Play the central part, please.
from the double bar line.
Yesterday we talked about the quality of the play of an orchestra,
Yes.
which is in our hands. If an orchestra play okay, is in our hands. If the orchestra play fantastically, technically well and convincing, is in our hands.
Yes.
Because we bring them, we help them to achieve that.
Yes.
Sorry.
So from the double bar line, I wonder whether the semiquaver, so the violas and also the semiquavers and the woodwinds a bit more, and everybody else, we let that through a bit more. And I also think with the sforzati, rather than really accent at the beginning, something more sustained and heavier, rather than a harsh sound. Can we try? Thank you, that was better. Balance with a marcato, although I did not show the first one.
Tiani,
I think we can.
I don't know how far you go to listen. You are talking about just the sforzato and the marcato, but there is a big problem of articulation. It's how we speak. The strings, ta, 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 ta. Then the second white note, it comes up and not down. So there is the first bar is solid down, and then yam ta ta tam ta ta, and then up. No, you are playing like this. So from between bar 1 and bar 3, there is a big difference of emission of sound. And then, do you think that the bowing style they're playing is absolutely connected to tara ta ta tara ta ta tam ta ta tam? They play de ya ti ti ja 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 da 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 da. Not because they play badly, because the bowing are crazy.
Would you change?
Before to talk about sforzato, so you have to uniform the strings with the idea of the piece. Now we play just strings.
Strings, yes.
But without the viola has no problem for that passage. Violins, violins.
Celli and double basses. Yes.
Not me,
well.
you. I do you regularly. But you change the bow, you ask, you test with them. If we play like this, the result. If we have an example.
I wonder at the moment, the semiquavers, we are a little bit not sharp enough.
No,
yes,
sorry, it's
take.
not the moment. It's not the moment. We are talking about technical instrument, violin technique. No, you play with sforzato. Listen how they play with the bowing they have.
Okay.
Huh?
And then
it's
we
like to downhill with the ski, and let's see how is downhill with the ski, and then maybe we change the ski. So
let's stick with the bowing that you did. Just the cello.
Just the violins, not them.
Not cellos,
just the
okay.
violins.
Yes, I hear.
Yes, let's play. It's all the passage again. Yes. Play. Did you note one thing? They have no dots. So probably they suggest this tam ta ta tam ta ta, because there are no dots. And then 4 bars later, 5 bars later, there are dots. And so they offer yam ta ta tam ta ta tam ta ta ta. But arrive at the last for the crescendo tam ta ta 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 with the retake, which is really odd. The problem is that ask if we play down, pa pa pam, retake, ta ta tam, yam ta ta tam, retake, ta ta tam. We are creating a format for the first 2 bars. Am I clear?
With an upbeat into the next bar.
No, I wasn't clear. down, up, tam tam tim, pam pam, down. Different, no?
Yes.
Tim ta ta tam ta ta. Okay, I said I propose. Down, lan ti ta tam. Retake. Tan tan tan. Because the first of this ta ta tan was already played in the first half of the bow, at the beginning of the bar. So why to play here and then at the end of the bar to play at the tip? Stay here. Long notes. Enthusiasm. Heel. Ta ta tam ta ta tam. Enthusiasm. Heel. Ta ta tam ta tam. And then we resolve the other problem.
Yes.
Let's listen. Let's try to listen. Is equal. Now, yam ta ta tam ta ta tam ta ta tam ta ta tam. Let's play how they've printed.
From the same phrase?
The fifth bar of this. Okay. For me, it's a little bit light, and it's also a matter of metronome for the strings. It's possible to retake every 60 notes. Yes. Tam, 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 yam, ta, ta, tam, ta, ta, tam. Okay, let's try with the retake. You want longer this? Okay. Let's play up and down as it comes. It's better?
Yes. It's better.
Once more again, please, be kind. It's better, no? It's better than the first and especially of the second. But they were so kind to offer to you a spectrum of possibility. Now, tam, 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 marcando, in crescendo. The isolated pam, pa, pam, okay? Before it's bar 8, 9, 281. Just the first beat, don't play afterwards. Look how they play. Again. Is enough marcato?
It depends on, you're talking both notes. Bum, bum, bum.
It's a climax.
Yes.
Okay, so, no. You play with your bowing. She has to listen and to what?
Yeah.
Your bowing. Again. Okay. Now you can ask. First note up. Short and up. Yam tata. The difference is one note, which gives. It's like to pull the elastic.
Yes.
Boom, and the bow and the arrows goes. No. So they play instead. Vam tata.
Yes.
When they play like this, they create a sort of enthusiastic energy.
Yeah.
They play like this, it's fantastic, it's good, but not with the energy that we have. For this reason, sounds very good. Ya, ta ta ti, ta 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 ta, because it's not ta 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 ta, the two up. The two ups to get the sforzato down, maybe. But now let's play with this character from the beginning. And maybe you could be more happy about that.
Yes, it's completely different, huh? Thank you. Same from the double bar line.
Double bar.
Double bar.
No. Let's fix the violin. They have to be convinced about the change.
From the 2, 7, 8.
The new bowing, we ta yam ta ta tam ta ta ti yam.
Double bar line, just the violins. Yes.
It's a little bit more solid, no?
Yes.
Okay, now tutti.
Now,
the cello and the bass has to uniform that. Yes. But remember that cello has, of course, the same problem of the bow, but they play here. Sometimes for the cello, it's more comfortable and effective to have other kind of bow. Not exactly the same. Depends. Now, let's try tutti.
Double bar line, same place.
And one thing. usually a very sensitive player here, when they change the bowing, immediately the principal cello, the double bass said, you try to uniform what they are doing. So they also, now they are doing the same bowing without that you say change the bowing.
Yes.
They are not sleeping
You're
when you
brilliant.
are working with the other side of the orchestra. Usually.
Depends on the time.
Or they are not sending messages. Okay.
Same place.
Yes.
Double bar line, tutti, please.
Va bene.
We do not do the repeat.
Okay, you
That
see.
is such a different sound.
All right, and
Thank
this is
you.
the responsibility of the
Something.
conductor. Next variation that you want to grazioso.
Grazioso.
And I also. Oh, what a fun. It was wonderful.
Espressivo. But I felt
There are
it just
a
felt.
lot of articulation problems.
Yes.
You
May I-
like the grazioso that the orchestra is offering to you?
Not yet.
Where
I-
you, yes, but maybe, I'm sure you have a grazioso in mind. What kind of grazioso you have in mind? Non sforzato, diminuendo, what kind of grazioso?
You mean in articulation?
Yes, if you sing it
Yum ba bum ba. It's lighter.
lighter. So the
Yes.
first note should be short.
Not too long, yes.
Brava.
With a lift.
Yeah,
Yum ba
ta-tam,
bum ba.
tam, ta-tam, tim, ta-tam, preciso.
But if we can also find a line within that, maybe in the first and second,
Trust me,
keep it
trust me,
legato.
you are not in front of members that play yan, ta-ta-ti, ta-tan-ta. They know what is a musical line.
Yeah.
We are not a teacher in this case. Sometimes they teach us. So, be careful when we talk about it, to talk about the line. We must be very sure. Instead, the character is another thing, Stiani. So, yeah, ta-tam, tam, ta-tam, tim, tam, ta-tam, tam. Look the score more precisely. Brahms has written for the viola 3 bars with
Yes.
dots and slurred. Yam, ta-tam, tam. They play yam, ta-tam, tam, separato. It's a problem of bowing. It's not just the bowing, it's a problem that this bowing is not suggesting the grazioso. They play heavy. And when we arrive at bar 3, instead, Brahms is not indicated to the musician dots and slurred. Means that the phrase of 4 bar is 3 bars leggero grazioso. The 4th bar is a cadenza in the phrase. So, yam, pa-pam, pam, pa-pam, pi, tam, pa-pam, tim, ti, da, da, di, da, 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 with a great difference. First violin, they play separato, yam, da, dam, dan, da, dan, da, and when they arrive at the last two bars, they still play ya, ta, ta, ti, ta, ta, shorter. But the indication of Brahms, my friends, is clear. I want 3 bars, very light. Dum, da, dum, di, da, dum, da, you know, fly up. And then 1 bar for the viola, 2 bars for the violin, in the cadenza moment of the phrase, di, da, da, di, da, da, di, like a refrain.
Same for them. Yeah.
So you said, my colleagues, please, play the original articulation that Brahms has suggested, starting up. Viola. Yam, pa-pam, pam, pa-pam, pa, pa-pam, pam, ti, da, da, di, da, 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 di, eventually, no? Okay? So, violin first. Ram, pa-pam, pi, da-dam, dam, da-dam, ti, da, da, di, da, da, di, da, da, da. Alla corda. Alla corda. Then try. Okay, you stop immediately. You said, I sang yam, pa-pam, pam. Why they produce a long note? Because they start here. And they do. Ti instead is in the middle. Tam, ta-tam.
Yes.
Is in the middle. Ti, also for the violins. Not wa. Ti, 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 tam. Very short the first note. Yam, pa-pam, pam. Middle of the bow. The character of the middle of the bow. Please. Middle, middle. In okay, Tiani.
Also, I have a responsibility to show that lightness in the first note as well. Yum. I think I was too legato
See,
before.
yes, yes. In fact, when you start, you can ask it, but it's more the responsibility of the players. When the principal player starts, all of them has to start on the same position. So, bow, they can start from here, or from here. It's exactly, and you say, I would please listen the sound that start in the middle. Don't be panic if the first note is short. It's what we would like. Also, helped by the resonance of the whole. So, yam, pa-pam, yam, pa-pam. And when the variants arrive, tim, tan, 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 they have to find the same at the same place.
Yeah.
No? So, ti, ti, tan, 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 and not to start the accompanimento too much there. But tim, tim, tan, tan, but we see later the accompanimento. Okay? Let's try. Short the first note. No, solo le viole. It could be more convincing now.
Yes.
Okay? And one
More
thing,
character.
when we do Mahler, usually it's typical about Mahler trio in the scherzo. Yam, ta-tam, tam, ta-tam, tam, ta-tam, tam. The secret is to play the sixth a little bit shorter, and not ta, 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 but bam, 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 pa-pam, bam, pa-pam, bam, pa-pam, bam. A little bit quicker, okay? And now we go inside the spirit of Grazioso. No spiccato.
Yes, and maybe can we make that third note a little bit lighter? Yum, papa. Think of it more like.
Yes, but not spiccato. it's fine. If you see the difference,
Yes.
then you, if you have time, you can work more. And be careful. Not this.
Yes.
It's just one bar. And
Yeah.
so now, first violin. Let's try from the first violin.
So, bar 6.
No, it's not. It's similar to the viola, but it's at yum,
Yum.
pa pam pa. Short as the first note,
Maybe a
caressing
bit
the
of
first note.
Maybe a bit of speed. Is that?
Yeah, yum, pa pam. There it is. Light.
Yes, I think, may I? Sorry. I think where the first note is excellent, but then dee da da dum, ba bum, these two notes are too heavy, and we break the line. So yum, ba bum, ba, keep it very light. Da da, hardly any bow in that second one. Let's try. Yes, sorry, my knees. But that's
good.
beautiful, thank you.
Very,
That's
very.
beautiful.
Now, pam, 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 clarinet, bassoon, first violin, second violin, beginning.
I'm looking for something really connected.
No, play.
May I ask, thank you, may I try something? This crotchet, not to have a pulse on it, not bum, 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 but ba, 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 so we feel more the line
So
progression
yes,
of
yes.
the descending.
You want the first note longer.
Yes, longer, but also no accent.
They're not playing.
It's-
Sorry.
It's
They're-
not accent, it's the
For
short
me, it
note.
was not. Anyway. Okay, longer the first note.
Thank you.
You are going to meet a problem in this case. If they
Too loud?
play, no. If they play long, they cover yan ta ta.
Yes,
The sound, despite his piano, doesn't permit ta 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 to come. We need transparency in the piece.
yes.
Brahms has not written crotchet and quaver, has written crotchet dots on above the so the articulation is ya ta ta ta, and there is a little space in between, which ta tam tam is free to come up.
Yes,
So that when they play at the first time, for which was just perfect.
yes, okay. Sorry, I made it worse.
And the conductor in this case damaged with.
Yeah.
So play like before, because they create transparencies.
With everybody, beginning, please.
Va bene. Don't forget Emily, because at the beginning she plays the same theme. You work with the viola, but you have now to work also with the principal flute. And it's important to have the sound of the principal flute at the beginning more than the viola. It gets light. There is one more thing. When the violins play the tema, there is a controthema of which is this one. Exactly. Yeah. Pa 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 pa. Very light. They play ti ta ta yam ta ta ti. Huh? Let's try again. And I want to listen to the principal flutes at the beginning. Beginning.
From the beginning.
Don't rush. Let them prepare it. It's also 3 hours of rehearsal. For you, it's half an hour, but for them, it's 3 hours. So they prepare it, okay, and then go. Flute. Intense. Okay. Okay.
Great. Thank you. I learned Bravo, thank you.
Grazie.
Thank you for trying.
Grazie. Thank you. Just one thing for the orchestra. Some player asked me if they are allowed to come with us in the afternoon for the conversation we had yesterday. We had a very nice afternoon from 2 o'clock until 7 o'clock, of course. Yeah, very nice. After the feedback of the orchestra, all the members of the orchestra that are interested to join us are warmly welcomed. It's just that. Don't feel shy for that, okay? Thank you again, my friends. Grazie.
Thank you. I need to learn.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful. Yeah. Thank you, Maestro. Thank you, Royal Concertgebouw Orchestra. Thank you, young conductors. Wonderful Johannes Brahms. Tomorrow, day off. Thursday morning, 9:30, a half hour earlier than today, local time, Amsterdam. And it is Beethoven Symphony No. 7 on the music stands. Until then, thank you. Yeah, I mean, you have to.